What's up, Genevieve?
Hi.
Hello. So, question: did you figure out how to say your name in Italian?
Me?
Yeah.
No. My name is French, and that's all I know about it.
It is very French.
Yeah.
Do you know what your name is in English?
No.
You don't know your name in English?
No.
Genevieve is Jennifer in English.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Genevieve. Yes.
That's what Miss Sarah calls me, Sarah Akers.
That's how you. I mean, that's the French way to say
Yeah.
Genevieve.
That's like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I just know how to say it because I have an aunt, Genevieve, and I spoke French in my house growing up. So I know that.
I've never met another person named Genevieve.
Really?
Yeah.
They're pretty cool people.
Everything looks different because there's an update. That's cool.
A bit of an update, yes. There have been some technical issues with that update. I was having issues this morning with some of my lessons. I was just like, what is happening? I just couldn't get anything to work.
I didn't update mine. I just haven't updated mine.
Good for you.
Right.
All
Last
right.
day class.
Happy
Allie's on here twice.
day of class. Boy, has it been a semester. It has been, I'm sure for y'all, a long time coming, especially this last day. But I can't thank you enough for being especially a part of this class because of the difficulty, but the ease that y'all made it actually happen. I mean, if you literally start talking to each other about accents, because that's the thing too, is when you start listening to things, and have y'all start to listen to, like, especially English actors in American movies, some of them are really good and some of them are really bad. You could actually now start to hear the differentiations between other English-speaking actors and actually doing an American accent or another English-speaking accent. And what is that like? Y'all can now then start dissecting and saying, oh, wow, that's actually really back compared to how they would actually normally speak, which is very frontal. And your parents will be like, what the hell did you just say? But the magic of this is not only is it an auditory or receptive, visual learning experience, this is also a studious class. It's studious in the action of listening, paying attention, dissecting, actually having to learn IPA, which is a whole other language. And even if it's sort of falling out of your brain a bit, because yes, we hammered it really hard and then we sort of let it off, it's always going to be there. You will always be able to pick it up. Whereas most of your classmates, especially if you go off and study this in undergrad, are going to be like, what does this mean? And y'all could be the leaders and really start helping to help create the vocabulary of linguistics. I know that this was a problem class before, but I feel like y'all have really made it not only just a wonderful journey, because I love teaching this, but something that you stuck with. And that's the thing. That's the caveat of everything that you'll do for the rest of your life is sticking with it and actually learning the material. Because acting gets harder from here. Especially the older you are, the more difficult it actually becomes. Because you're studying more theory, you're studying more application. They are trying to really get you into very specific vulnerable moments in your life. It gets difficult. But one of the greatest skill sets that many actors do not fundamentally have is voice and diction. The proper educational skills of speech. And I got to commend y'all on really tuckering out this entire semester. And I can't thank you enough because I talked to Mr. Mike and all the other instructors, and I call you my baby geniuses. Because if you actually look back at the recordings and y'all are speaking during your projects, y'all sound like brilliant doctors and minds. But the most important thing, linguists, learning speech, learning other languages, right? That's the difficulty about this, is that you can now apply it to your American dialect, which is amazing. Have y'all even tried to talk to your fellow NGPA classmates about this and the comprehension of speech? Genevieve, how did that go?
Well, okay, so earlier I was like practicing my presentation for Allison Crow. So she was in the other voice and diction class, and I was like going through everything, and she was like, "What's a diphthong?" She was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Let me educate you, Allison."
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I know the last time they offered this class, it went south pretty quickly. But it's also, who knows the material? Like, if you don't know a proper diphthong, like, if you don't know how to break down things syllabically, or let alone just to have the dialogue, okay, if you try to talk to them like, oh, that sounds interesting. Where's that placed? They go, what? Where's that placed? You had it almost like mid-dorsum, but I'm hearing more root retraction. People be like, what the hell are you talking about? They'd be so confused. But, I mean, how awesome is that? To have that vocabulary. Garrett, you had your hand up?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I haven't really talked to any NTPA students, so I couldn't have told them about any voice and diction stuff.
Well, next time too, if you decide to do a play or a musical and there has to be accents, I think the only one right now that's an accent play is the Canterville Ghost in the fall. Because I don't think if it's my play, I'm picking accent plays, obviously, because I could teach it. But I don't think there's any other accent plays or musicals. Maybe Les Mis in certain places. But Genevieve, you're doing an accent in one of your shows?
No, did you get a haircut?
I did get a haircut. Yes,
I knew it.
my rocking mom gave myself a haircut. When
I
I
knew
was a
it.
kid, she used to cut my hair, all of us, and she said I looked like a homeless Jesus. So she took the opportunity to cut my hair. So I'm very appreciative because I didn't have to pay for it. It's at a length to where I can keep it until I can get my regular haircut. But yes, I did.
I've been wanting to go to the salon to get my bangs cut for months.
Yeah, no longer homeless Jesus.
All
So.
that I can't put them down. They go to heel when I go down.
Yeah, my mom complained the entire time, and I said, you didn't have to cut my hair. But it was a lot. Thank God. I'm not balding yet. My older brother is. And I'm like, I might be next in line. My mom was like, you have a whole head of hair. And I was just like, okay, we're good. It was a complaint the entire time. I'm grateful. Anyways, move back on track. I'm truly really indebted to y'all because this class was either going to literally fail after this or succeed. And I feel like y'all have really taken on a lot, especially the older ones on your plate, those who are taking a lot of classes to really accomplish this class. And it's going to be offered all year round now, which is really exciting. And now, y'all's experience, y'all could definitely relay this to those who have to take it at some point and those who are actually really interested in taking it. And that it comes with a level of skill, but also application, right? There is work to this. It isn't just, I get to sort of just read some text and it's somehow there. It's really work. And y'all know that. But the best part is the hardest part is over. Now when you study linguistics, it's going to be simpler. And also when you look at dictionaries and you don't know how to say a word, you can actually Google it and read the IPA, for crying out loud. Like, that is the coolest thing. I've been in shows where they're like, I'm like, galoscopy. And they're like, how do you know that? I'm like, oh, well, if you look at the IPA, and they go, I can't read that. That's awesome. So, I mean, it's a really wonderful skill to have. So you could just pick up a dictionary and really learn how to phonetically pronounce it. So I can't thank you enough. I'm so proud of each and every one of you, and I'm excited to see the reindeer games. So I know we're gonna do some.
Proud of you.
Hopefully, y'all have your monologue that you had earlier this year, or something that you can read off of, or something that you're very familiar with. And we're going to challenge each other with your accents. And I feel like I think I should play 2. So I'll play 2. I'll do Shakespeare one because that's probably the only one I could think of off the top of my head. Maybe, I don't know.
I have to find I forgot.
Aaron.
Yes.
Aaron, thank you for making this class very interesting. I think you're one of the big reasons that this class was both a whole lot of fun and very educational at the same time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I love this stuff. I love talking about this stuff, and it's really dorky and whatever, but it's something that I thoroughly enjoy. Just like that. If I could wear a hat like that, I would wear it.
It's from Pops.
Yeah, I like it. So we have one more project. Genevieve, would you like a few minutes to prep? Or would you like to just dive right in and let's do this?
I don't care either way.
Well, I want to make sure that you're comfortable with doing the demonstrations at least. Practicing the accent.
Yeah, I guess I'll practice. Can you give me like 10 minutes or something?
Absolutely, I'll give you 10 minutes. That means those who are going to be playing the game, make sure that you can go through everybody's accent and start working on it, okay? That means Afrikaans, that means the German, French, Australian. We're also going to hit RP, MLE, not MLE, estuary, and Cockney. Sorry, not MLE. That'd be way crazy.
Daddy.
Okay? So that's 7 accents. RP, Cockney, estuary, German, French, Australian, Afrikaans, and Italian. 8. Y'all are leaving with 8 accents underneath your belt. Remember, we can only do R's in the beginning. That's insane. So go ahead and practice. I'll give you 10 minutes. I'll put y'all in breakout rooms so y'all can go to town. Actually, I'm going to put y'all into groups. Actually, let's do.
Genevieve, for the project, do you want me to be wearing this, or are you going to be distracted?
I would totally recommend wearing that hat. I think it'll further your understanding of the Italian accent.
Okay.
Yeah, you're okay. Thank you.
Okay. Genevieve, you're going into your own, and everyone else is going to have partners. So go through all the accents, talk about them, and then I'll see you all in 10 minutes. We are going to dive into the Italiano accent. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. You can share your screen with us whenever you are ready.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Start. Wait, does that work? I don't know how to do this.
Are you on your phone?
I'm on my iPad.
Oh, I've never done it on the iPad before.
Can you see? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, we can see it. Absolutely. Is there any way that you can put it in presentation mode?
Yes. Well, maybe.
It might take a second to load. I haven't done a presentation on the iPad before.
Wait, can you see me?
No, we see your. Oh, here we go. Slowly coming
Yay.
in. It might just be
Uh,
glitching.
Wait, what? I can't hear you. Oh no.
So you don't. I guess you don't have to put it in presentation mode if it's going to glitch.
Okay.
There we go. No worries.
Anatomy of the Italian accent. So Italian culture is rooted in arts, family, architecture, music, and food. As of 2017, the population was 62 million individuals, and 93% of that population spoke Italian as their native language. Italy is also home to some of the most famous structures in the world. Oh
Oh,
no.
it kicked you out.
Wait, I don't know how to do this. Um,
There you go.
wait,
No worries.
I can go grab a laptop from downstairs and rejoin the class.
So what if
Or, yeah, because I sent it to you.
you did? What if I pull it up and you just tell me when you want me to move on?
Okay, I'm so sorry.
You're golden. Okay. So people basics. Da, 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 da. Okay, great. You're at 92%.
Wait, what?
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, can you pick up from 93% of the population speak Italian?
Yes, as their native language, Italy is home to some of the most famous structures in the world, including the Colosseum and the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Tell me when you want me to move on.
You can move on. There's Italy. Okay, you can move on. Italy has been the origin place for many architectural styles, including Roman, Renaissance, Baroque, and Neoclassic. Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo are both Italian artists. Between the two of them, we got amazing pieces like the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. You can move on.
That's beautiful.
There's the Sistine Chapel. I think it's so pretty.
Have you been there?
No, I wish.
Me too.
So Italy's political geography has been conditioned by these rugged landscapes, with few direct roads between them, and with passage from one point to another traditionally difficult. Italy's towns and cities have a history of self-sufficiency, independence, and mutual distrust. Visitors today remark on how unalike one town is from the next, on the marked differences in cuisine and dialect, and on many subtle differences that make Italy seem less a single nation than a collection of culturally related points in an uncommonly pleasing setting. You can move to the next one. Okay. This is a picture of Italy.
What city?
I'm not sure exactly. I'm sorry.
It's so pretty.
It is very beautiful.
Okay.
Can you look up the city?
Yes. Wait, right now?
No. I think it's Milan, but
Okay. So, opera has its roots in Italy. Almost all operas are Italian. I feel like this isn't super important, so I'll just skim through it. Basically, opera was most popular until World War One, and then more popular things began to go into Italy. You can move on now. Oh, there's an opera house in Italy.
what is it called?
I don't know.
You know, there's multiple
Yeah.
famous opera houses in Italy. And in fact, so in my family, this is a random note or fun fact, is that everyone in my family is named after very famous, our middle names are after famous people. And my parents didn't know this, but there's this Italian architect. His name is Matteo Delisio, and he was actually a famous theater designer. My parents didn't know that. This is my dad's favorite architect. And it's just coincidentally enough that I would be in theater, which is a really fun, weird fact.
That's really cool.
I know. Isn't that awesome? Okay, yeah.
Italian food is a large part of the culture. Everyone knows that. Each individual region of Italy has their own dish or cooking style, and then they're very famous for their vineyards. Yummy. You can move to the next one. Oh, the politics of Italy are conducted through a parliamentary republic with a multi-party system. They've been a democratic republic since June 2nd, 1946. Yeah, that's it. You can move to the next one.
Did you know that the United States is also a democratic republic?
Yeah.
The Republic of the United States of America. That's why we have a DC. It's it's separated from the United States, and Italy has the same thing. If you know anything about like Washington DC, it's its own separate entity from the United States, which is interesting. Oh, beautiful. Are you sure that's Italy?
Yeah. No, I'm not sure. No, yeah, I think it is.
It looks like the Swiss Alps.
I don't think it is. Wait. It's located. No, it's. Oh, wait. Italy's located in southern Europe and comprises the long boot-shaped Italian peninsula, the southern side of the Alps. It's part of the northern hemisphere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
So just a few things before we dive into the posture. I thought this was a great dissect into its community because I think it's so unique. And actually, the northern parts of Italy, they speak German. German's a huge influence in actually the Italian language. There's this famous race car manager named Gunther Steiner. He's Italian, but he speaks German, and he speaks Italian as well. And it's a huge influence in the Italian culture in northern Italy, I should say, is German. During World War II, there was a huge migration towards these southern European countries. So it actually dominates a huge part of that, which is a very interesting fact. Neoclassical works. Do you know any neoclassical artists that actually influenced the 19th and 20th century art? So there's this famous expressionist painter named Edvard Munch. He is from the Netherlands, but he's also huge in Italian restoration paintings. It actually inspired a lot of his work today. So that was an interesting fact that you brought up. I thought that you'd be able to dive into a little more of the artists in the neoclassicalism. But also lots of small towns. Believe it or not, there's actually a lot of controversy between every little small town. And Italy, back in the Renaissance times, was huge with there were like itty bitty little castles and countries and things like that. And small little towns would actually almost try to challenge each other and try to take over each other's little towns. It sounds ridiculous today, but it was an actual common occurrence during these small towns. Actually, unfortunately, due to especially the recession, Italy had their own recession in 2003 to 2006. And during that time, many people were actually buying up towns in Italy, straight up towns. And nowadays, they're more popular. So people are turning them into huge tourist attractions, and these multi-millionaires who bought these towns for only a couple million, which is unheard of, have now turned them into crazy huge tourist attractions. So these small itty bitty towns are actually flourishing, which is crazy. And musical theater. What do we know about musical theater? I don't know if you all have ever actually took a musical theater history, but where does musical theater come from? Do you know?
Opera.
Opera. It comes from opera.
Yeah.
And actually opera is this is why there's a huge divide between opera and musical theater, because opera says that they're the true musical theater. because they have sets, props, directors, choreography. They have all this stuff. They just don't use microphones, and the whole show's through song. You could see a lot of inspiration during the golden age of musicals, thanks to Rodgers and Hammerstein, who actually took that on board and rearranged all of the opera and turned it into, they weren't American, but they turned it into the musical theater that we see today. They were English. And so you see a lot of the influence of opera today, but you see a lot of now opera stealing a lot of stuff from the theaters and how they are trying to make things into spectacles or turning in movies into operas, which is huge. And you said that it was on the decline in the 19th and 20th century. In fact, I think that is the opposite. We could see a lot of influence, especially in the United States, which is not popular at all, but through the Met, you see it at a lot of the opera houses, especially in Toronto. It's a huge popular event. I mean, nowadays, how many of y'all have been to the opera? Raise your hand. Yeah, I have, multiple times. Yeah, just because I like it. There's like a rich old lady in me somewhere. And it's heavily influenced by those who can actually be great patrons of the arts, who do attend those. But I like the statistics. So the 93% speak Italian. What is the remainder percentage?
I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, I think it's actually a lot. They've had, especially recently in the early 2000s, a huge influx of immigration. And guess what? There's actually a lot of Americans buying property and living in Italy and denouncing their citizenship of the United States to live in Italy full time. Yeah. And we think of that as like a crazy thing, and it sounds unbelievable, right? But a lot of businesses, a lot of huge business people are actually in Sweden or the Netherlands or in some other of the Scandinavian countries or sometimes in southern parts of Europe. And so people literally, because they're flying out there all the time, decide to, instead of hold dual citizenship, because the United States only allows you to do a certain number, you can denounce the citizenship and become a citizen of that country. But this is what's crazy to me, because you can have a dual citizenship in Mexico, in the United States, but you can't actually have one in Canada. Isn't that dumb? That makes no sense. They're very specific on what countries you can have dual citizenship with and those you can't. I don't know. It doesn't make no sense to me. Okay. Anyways, great dissection in the culture and context of people. Go ahead and start with the posture.
For posture, the Italian accent includes medium jaw height, retracted jaw, lip corners are retracted, little lip pursing but not a lot, minimal cheek tenting, very little tongue arching and cupping because the tongue stays forward and high, medium tongue flattening, almost no tongue bunching, quite a bit of tongue bracing on the alveolar ridge, little tongue root advancement and no retraction, a raised velum for some wider vowels, no widening or narrowing of the pharynx, and breathy glottal setting. You can get to the next one.
Sorry.
To find the oral posture of the Italian accent, you'll want to position your tongue right under your alveolar ridge. Another easy way to find the oral posture is to place your mouth into the position to roll your R's and then lower your tongue just enough to let air through. The vocal tract should feel long and narrow. The tongue forward and high is very important.
Sorry, I'm trying to read through this. So if you're taking your tongue high, in that last slide, I think you said that okay, no, I thought you said they're, no, good job. So in Italy, the way they roll their R's is actually quite different than how we do it.
Yeah. they don't roll their R's. It's more of a like tap than like a.
Yeah. Okay. Job well done.
Italians stress the penultimate symbol, the second to last syllable, with a few exceptions. The Italian accent has no aspiration. Also, the Italian accent relies heavily on its musicality. They speak very quickly, and it's a phonetic language, so it's spoken the way it's written.
Yep. Just like English, sometimes.
Italian is a syllable timed. Syllable timed languages give the impression of taking an approximately equal amount of time to speak each syllable. Speakers of syllable timed languages will carry over this characteristic rhythm to speaking English.
So especially with the rhythm, and this is one thing that we went through too, are they monosyllabic sounds or are they multiple syllabic sounds with Italian?
I'm not sure.
So the monosyllabic, that's sort of the difficulty of Italian is it's all one down stressed syllable words. They don't have, even though it is melodic, I agree, it is melodic. But one thing, especially because it is monosyllabic, it is syllable timed. But the thing is the reason why it is, because that's going to help us when we're relying our stresses, right? Because it's one syllable words. And no one talks like that, except for the Italians, really, because we don't speak that way. We have diphthongs, we have diphthongs, we have so many other, amongst the alphabet of how we rearrange our syllables. And one thing is that, yes, it's literally spoken the way that it is written, but it is monosyllabic. That is a huge, huge, huge characteristic, I think, that is missing in this section here. Other than that, it looks good.
So Italian and English share the Latin alphabet, but the sounds represented by the letters often differ considerably in the two languages. So there's no diphthongs. You drop all the H sounds. For the R, you tap tongue on alveolar ridge. You add the schwa to the words that end with consonants. And so then I have like the little thing in the corner, and yeah.
Oh yeah, you have the vowels. Yeah. Can you demonstrate those vowels for us?
Sure. Well, kind of. So for the I sound, I'll just go in the order in the list I have right there. So instead of mix, so like it's meeks.
So like, this is key.
Yeah. Meeks.
The E sound.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh, ah. Back here. That's how it should sound on the vowel chart. Did you hear that?
Okay. Yeah.
E, ooh, oh, ah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Front to back. So, you said that they have the schwa sound. This is not our schwa sound. This is their schwa sound. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Our schwa sound is not even here. It's here. It's that's our schwa sound. That's the thing is, especially with the Italians, they're really specific on their vowel sounds. And that's because what so many people do, and I see time to time, is they take the Italian accent and it winds up being Spanish. And it can't. Because it's not. They're totally different countries. So they're going to sound completely different. So knowing the vowels and their placements is crucial. And again, what is this? And then this is general note. What does this chart represent? Do y'all remember? What this chart? Yes, the mouth. What is the E sound? The front, top of the teeth. E, right? So if you go forward to back, this is the bottom teeth. That's the furthest back on the vowel chart. So you should be feeling these placements in the mouth. This is the mouth, the oral cavity, right? So that's huge. And then the fact that you specified, that's perfect, because that's what we need, especially when we're learning a new accent. Okay, do you have the poems? Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you please read the poems in the Italian accent?
Yeah. Okay. What a frosty land is this? How is its fate decided? Cold black mountains loom. Glassy pools reflect their huge queer forms. A bird-like woman searches slowly through the trees. Flocks of trembling sparrows cluster about blood-red barns. I feel the flashing claws of chalk-white terror reap at my breath. My courage fails. A furious hoarse voice whispers from the inky shadows. He knew his duty. We cannot be afraid. Fighting a fog of sudden nightmare visions, savage lambs, fork-tongued horses, sleek otters subtle as jazz. I struggle to recall the worst drama of old. My heart turns to ice.
Nice. Nice. Job well done. Okay, so I think, and you're going to do this again, I think you go further. Wait. Try to really go over with the enunciation of the consonants, yeah? Because your rhythm is perfect. Monosyllabic the entire time. That's exactly how it should be. But I am really, really, really missing all of the characteristics of this accent, right? They always add, especially on whenever there's the looming sort of consonant sounds, the e sound, the a, they add the extra a vowel at the end of their words, right? So this time, really push into it. Go so far. Go so far that I have to pull you back. Okay? So then actually you have a bit of, some realism behind it, yeah? Make it, yeah, go so far. Go so far, go so far. Okay? What the land is this? How was this fate decided? Go so far. Go far. Go.
What a frosty land is this? How is its fate decided? Cold black mountains loom. Glassy pools reflect their huge queer forms. A bird-like woman searches slowly through the trees. Flocks of trembling sparrows cluster.
Don't lose those vowels. You're losing the vowels now.
Oh no.
Yeah, so keep those vowel placements, but don't lose the middle between the words, right? Keep the crisp, hard consonants in the beginning and the end, but don't lose the vowels. Feel the flashing claws of chalk, a white terror rip at my breath. Right? Breath. Make sure you're not losing the vowels in between each one. Okay, start again from the top.
What a frosty land is this? How is its fate decided? Cold black mountains loom. Glassy pools reflect their huge queer forms. A bird-like woman searches slowly through the trees. Flocks of trembling sparrows cluster about the blood-red barns. I feel the flashing claws of chalk-white terror reap at my breath. My courage fails. A furious hoarse voice whispers from the inky shadows. He knew his duty. We cannot be afraid. Fighting a fog with sudden nightmare visions. Savage lambs, fork-tongued horses, sleek otters subtle as jazz. I struggle to recall the worst drama of old. My heart turns to ice.
Yes, job well done. Job well done. And hopefully you are looking back, especially when I'm giving you a little bit of some adjustments, and then you go and re-listen to the revisions because there's a huge difference. To you, it sounds subtle, but to us, to me, listening, it's a significant difference. But that's the thing with accents, you want to go so far. So then, if you are actually doing the accent, the accent, it's, you want to make it more realistic, and the only way to do that is to go so far that you have to pull it back. And the thing is, as well, with any accent, is you want to create almost a character for the accent itself, right? Because you could pull it back more, and then you sound really natural. Yeah, does it make sense? Because the whole point of doing the accent is to make it convincing, yeah? Natural. That's the way to do it, right? But you have to go far. And that means by stretching that. And then luckily you have someone like me who could then say, whoa, 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 pull back, pull back. Now you sound like a cartoon character. Because if you do that, then before you know it, then you're going into like Transylvania, 1, 2, right? And you don't want to go in that direction at all. And if you're in that direction, then you go into Russian, and that's not where we're living.
I was definitely going Russian.
You were not going Russian, no. But those are where that lives. It's the same. If you're doing the Russian, if you're doing the Italian, right, the Italian accent, it's easy to fall into Russian because it's all the same placement. In the mouth, yeah? So you have to be careful. And it's us just naturally falling into that because that's where their language lives. But job well done. Job well done. Okay, so we covered French, German, Australian, Afrikaans, or South Afrikaans, I should say, because it's not actually Afrikaans, South Afrikaans, and Italian. So we have 5 accents. That is phenomenal. So what I would like you to do is to go through your monologue first by yourself, your regular accent, your natural dialect. And then, once you've done that, I want you to go to RP, Cockney, Estuary. Once you've done that, I want you to go into your accent that you studied. Once you check that off your list, go through every single accent that was presented in class. I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to do that. Okay? So go for it. Y'all could be on mute. That's fine. So it's not too awkward. I'll put y'all into your own rooms. I am pumped to hear these. I am pumped to hear these.
Well,
These are going to be great. Because y'all be
Wait.
practicing every day, as one should. Don't tell me that.
Mr. Aaron, to be honest, I haven't practiced my not Italian accents in a few weeks.
In a few weeks? Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty rusty.
It's okay.
Um,
I'm not even close to the South Africans.
I couldn't even get that one.
I can't. There's Mm-mm.
Are we talking about which ones we're bad at?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's look back.
I'm in that boat too.
You're gonna go first.
No.
Yes.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, you're going first. And in fact, I want you to start off right off the bat with Cockney.
Oh gosh, I'm stink at Cockney.
Now's the time to prove me wrong.
Wait, what?
Now's the time to prove me wrong that you're not.
But I do.
Go.
Right now?
Yes.
Oh no! Can we please start with someone else? I can't do this.
Yes, you can. I believe in you.
Oh no! Oh no!
Just read off
Okay.
the paper. If you have to read off the paper, just read off the paper.
Okay. Just okay. Okay. Look, Peter, the sky. What a lovely, lovely day. Aren't the clouds beautiful? You know what I do when it seems as if I couldn't stand being cooped up for one more minute? I think myself out. I think myself on a walk in the park where I used to go. You know the most wonderful part about thinking yourself out? You can have it any way you like. You can have roses and violets and chrysanthemums all blooming at the same time. It's funny. I used to take it all for granted. Granted. And now I've gone crazy about everything to do with nature. Haven't you? When I think of all that's out there, trees and flowers and seagulls, and the goodness of the people we know all risking their lives for us every day, when I think of these good things, I'm not afraid anymore. I find myself and God and we're not the only people that have had to suffer. I know it's terrible trying to have any faith when people are doing such horrible things, but you know what I sometimes think? It'll pass. Maybe not for hundreds of years, but someday I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are really good at heart. Peter, if you'd only look at it as part of a great pattern,
South
that would just a little minute in your life. What?
South Afrikaans.
Oh no. That we're just a little minute in the life. Oh, look at the sky now. Isn't it lovely? Look, Peter, the sky. What a lovely, lovely day. Aren't the clouds beautiful? You know what I do when it seems as if I couldn't stand being cooped up for one more minute? I think myself out. I think myself on a walk in the park where I used to go. Do you know the most wonderful part about thinking yourself out? You can have it any way you like. You can have roses and violets and chrysanthemums all blooming at the same time. It's funny. I used to take it all for granted. And now I've gone crazy. French! Oh no! I'm so bad at this. And oh no!
Can't even do it correctly, so I'm with you.
And oh no. I lost my place too.
It's the person of the lips, right? So make sure that your lips are right in the right placement. And remember, I said exercise. If you're going to do it,
Okay.
try to do it like this first, and then go ahead and do the fingers once you're ready. But go ahead and try.
Okay. And now I've gone crazy about everything to do with nature. Haven't you? When I think of all that's out there, the trees and flowers and seagulls and the goodness of the people we know, all risking their lives for us every day. When I think of these good things, I'm not afraid anymore. I find myself and God and we're not the only people that have had to suffer. I know it's terrible trying to have any faith when people are doing such horrible things, but you know what I sometimes think? It'll pass. Maybe not for hundreds of years, but someday I still believe, in spite of everything, that people are really good at heart.
RP.
Okay. Peter, if you'd only look at it as part of a great pattern, that were just a little minute in the life. Look at the sky now. Isn't it lovely? Look, Peter. Cockney? Oh, look, Peter, the sky. Oh, what a lovely, lovely day.
You're doing S for Cockney. Much further back. Go further back, yeah?
Okay. Aren't the clouds beautiful? You know what I do when it seems as if I couldn't stand being cooped up for one more minute? I think myself out. I think myself on a walk in the park where I used to
Australia.
go. Oh no. You,
Well done.
okay.
All right, Garrett, start with Australian. Go.
You think you're impossible to live with. Lance used to say, what time do you want dinner? And I'd say, I don't know, I'm not that hungry. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd say, now. I'm the highest paid sports writer in the East for the past 14 years, and I saved $8.50 in pennies.
RP.
I'm never home. I gamble, I drink like a fish, lie to her every chance that I get. And on her 10th wedding anniversary, I took her to see the New York Detroit Red Wings hockey game where she got hit in the face with a puck, and I still don't know why she left me.
Copy.
You think you're impossible to live with. Lance used to say, what time do you want dinner? And I'd say, I don't know, I'm not that hungry. And at 3 o'clock.
Back. You're doing the Australian.
Wait, at 3 o'clock in the morning. Wait.
You stuck in Australian.
Okay.
That's okay. Start with RP, and then let's move back.
Okay. You think you think you're impossible to live with. Lance used to say, what time do you want dinner? And I'd say, I don't know, I'm not that hungry. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd say, no.
Cockney.
I'm the highest paid sports writer in the East for the past 14 years. And I've said $8.50 in pennies. I'm never home. I gamble. I drink like a fish. Lie.
German.
What?
German.
You think you're impossible live with lunch? I don't know. I can't do German.
French.
You think you're impossible to live with. Lunch used to say, what time do you want dinner? And I'd say, I don't know, I'm not that hungry. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd say, no, I'm the highest paid sports in
Russian. You're doing Russian.
What?
You were doing Russian. Try Italian. Try Italian.
Okay. You think you're impossible to. Lunch used to say, what time do you want dinner? And I'd say, I don't know, I'm not that hungry. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd say, no, I'm the highest paid sports writer in the East for the past 14 years, and I've saved $8.50 in pennies.
Nice.
I've never.
Job well done. Man, y'all, if you don't watch this video today, go to the last part of this when y'all are trying to execute these accents. This is stellar. All right, Miss Nora, RP, let's go.
I'm really bad. I haven't practiced any accents till today.
Let's go, RP.
I've only been working on French. Wait, that's French. I got to see on my coat hanger sculpture. How can anyone get to see in a coat hanger sculpture?
No, you have to do RP, not French.
I know, I'm stuck.
That's okay. Start with French. Do French.
I got to see in my coat hanger sculpture. How can anyone get a see in a coat hanger sculpture? May I ask a question? Was it judged on the piece of the sculpture itself? If so, is it not true that time alone can judge a work of art? Or was it judged on my talent? If so,
German.
is it fair that I judged on the one part of my life which I have no control over? If I was judged on my effort, then I was judged unfairly, for I tried as hard as I could. Was I judged on what I had learned about the project? If so, then were not you, my teacher, also being judged on what your ability to transmit your knowledge?
Job well done.
I just had to go forward. I remember what you said about the German accent that's just folded in the French. So
But
I went to what I was doing wrong about the French and went into that.
hear it go forward, though. That's the thing. If you can hear it, you're doing something different, and that's what's important. And you could hear a difference, a significant difference. Job well done. All right, Geneviève. Start with the estuary accent.
Oh no. I think it's Mr. Aaron's turn.
No.
No, but
I'm trying to get to y'all first.
you act like a child, no, but you have the devil in you, and I'm trying to remember where it sits. And God.
Okay, start.
I don't remember.
Start with our P. That's fine. Start with our P.
You act like a child, but you have the devil in you, and God will punish you. Yes, I'll punish you too. I'll take your cigarettes from you and give you no more. I'll give you no more ice cream either, because I'm tired of your malice. Yes, I'm tired of your malice and your self-indulgence. People wonder why I'm tied down here. They pity me, think of me as an old...
Italian.
Oh, in spite of the fact that I'm young, still young, it's you, you've taken my youth away from me. You act like a child, but you have the devil in you, and God will punish you. Yes, I'll punish you too. I'll take your cigarettes from you and give you no more. I'll give you no more ice cream either, because...
Okay, job well done, Genevieve. Job well done.
I hated that.
Lorian, RP, go.
All right. Wayne, it is very easy to feel like you're only a secondary character in someone else's grand story. That does not mean, however, there isn't another story out there that's all about you. The one where you're the most important person in the world.
Cockney.
The era. We're all important, Wayne, and we're all unimportant. We're all heroes in some way, to someone. And as for your story, I think it was pretty cool.
Australia.
When it is very easy to
Sherman.
feel like you're only a secondary character in someone else's grand story. That does not mean, however, there isn't another story out there that's all about you. The one where you're the most important person in the world. The hero. We're all important, Wayne, and we're all unimportant.
French.
We're all heroes in some way to someone. And as for your story, I think it was pretty cool. Wayne, it is very easy to feel like you're only a secondary character in someone else's grand story. That does not mean, however, there isn't another story out there that's all about you. The one where you're the most important person in the world. The hero.
South Afrikaans.
We're all important, Wayne, and we're all unimportant. We're all heroes in some way to someone. And as for your story, I think it was pretty cool.
Italian.
Wayne, it is very easy to feel like you're only a secondary character in someone else's grand story. That does not mean, however, there isn't another story out there that's all about you. The one where you're the most important person in the world. The hero. We're all important, Wayne, and we're all unimportant.
Yay! Job well done. Everyone did such a good job. Oh my gosh. Y'all should no, y'all really did. It is hard. It is hard because you're fighting with text. You're fighting with telling a story. You're fighting with the oral placement of every single accent that we dived into, which is 8 this semester. 8 accents? That's insane. When's the last time you even started studying accents, and let alone find out one? 8. You have a starting point. In fact, you are way far into it now to where you can finish and continue to study these accents. These are huge, especially we speak English. You have to learn them. You have to. It's imperative, especially for the English ones, that you learn them all. That means Irish. That means Scottish, Welsh, all of them. Okay? Y'all are phenomenal. I can't thank you enough for this semester. And this is sad. This is sad that this is like the end of this class. But it's 12:21. I'm sure y'all want me to do it, so we have to do this fast. Okay.
Okay.
Someone has to guide me though. Genevieve. Okay, Genevieve.
All right.
I'll start, but we have to go quick. Let fame that all hunt after in their lives live registered upon our brazen tomb. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are, that war against our own affections, the huge army of the world's desires, our late edict shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world. Our court shall be a little academe, still in contemplative in living art. You three, Baron, Dumaine, and Longueville, have sworn for 3 terms, my fellow scholars, to capture the schedule here. And in this schedule, my fellow scholars shall keep their oaths. So subscribe to both. That his own hand may strike his honour down that violates the strongest branch herein. If you armed to do, want to do, subscribe to votes and keep it to. Let fame that all count in our lives live registered upon our brazen tombs. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are, that war against our own affections, the huge army of the world desired, our lady shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world. Our court shall be a little academe, still in contemplative and living art. You three, Durone, Dumaine, and Longueville, has sworn for 3 years' terms, my fellow scholars, to keep the statutes that are recorded in this schedule here. Now subscribe to both. What?
Italian.
That his own hand may strike his honour down that violates the smallest branch herein. If you're armed to do, as sworn to do, subscribe to deep oaths and keep it too. Let fame that all hunt after in their lives live registered upon our brazen tombs. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are, that war against our own affections, the huge army of the world's desires. What?
Australian.
It war against our own affections. The world's desires, all like edicts, shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world. Our court shall be a little academe, still in contemplative and living art. You three, Dumaine and Longueville, have sworn for 3 years' terms, my fellow scholars, to capture this schedule here. That his now subscribe your deep oaths that his own hand may strike his own down that violates the false branch herein. If you're armed to do, is sworn to do, subscribe your deep oaths and keep it to. Let fame that all that all hunt after in their lives live registered upon our brazen tombs. Therefore, brave conquerors, so you are. That war against our own affections, a huge army of the world's desires. Our late edict so strongly stand in force. Navarre should be the wonder of the world. Our court should be a little academe, still in contemplative, in living.
Yay!
Is that all of them?
All.
Yes! Awesome. That was fun. I haven't done this in a long time. All right, y'all are amazing. I appreciate you so much. Have a beautiful summer. Sign up for iAcademy classes if you're interested in any of those. I'm teaching some classes over the summer, so check this out if you want to still study with me. But if not, have a beautiful summer, and I hope I get to work with you all again. All right, yes, a ritual. Let's go. Ready? Baby.
Baby.
Science.